The great hall of Hogwarts reverberated with chaos as spells flying through the air, ricocheting off the stone walls with explosive force. The once majestic hall, known for its grandeur and festive feasts, was now a theater of war.
Emerald and crimson flares illuminated the faces of brave wizards and witches locked in a decisive struggle. In the heart of the melee, Harry Potter stood, his wand gripped tightly in his hand, facing his greatest nemesis, Lord Voldemort. Harry's silhouette was defined against the flashes of spellfire, his gaze unwavering, filled with a mix of defiance and determination. He knew this was the moment everything had been leading up to.
Across from him, cloaked in shadows, Voldemort's eyes glinted with a cold, menacing intensity. His voice was a serpentine whisper that cut through the thunderous clamor, filled with promises of doom. Looming behind the two adversaries, the chaos of battle continued unabated. Spells cast by members of the Order of the Phoenix and Dumbledore's army collided with those from the Death Eaters. Amidst this pandemonium, a figure stood, slightly apart from the clash, the unlikely hero, Neville Longbottom. Neville grasped the hilt of the sword of Gryffindor. It gleamed with an ancient power. His hands trembled slightly. The weight of the sword felt massive, both physically and in symbolic expectation. His eyes darted between his friends, moments from mortal peril, and the dark forces threatening to overwhelm them. A flicker of uncertainty crossed Neville's face as he recalled all the past moments where he'd felt insignificant. But then came the thought of his parents, tortured into madness, and the friends he'd lost. The thought ignited a fire within him. He raised the sword higher, the weight suddenly transforming into a resolve, stirring the bravery that lay dormant within him. The thought ignited a fire within him. He raised the sword higher, the weight suddenly transforming into a resolve, stirring the bravery that lay dormant within him. In the middle of this conflict, in the Great Hall, Neville Longbottom faced Voldemort, a boy wizard swinging the sword against Voldemort. Neville Longbottom standing triumphantly in the Great Hall, holding the sword of Gryffindor as the sun rises through the broken windows. Harry, Ron, and Hermione stand beside him, smiling with pride. The room is filled with light, symbolizing hope and a new beginning. After the great battle, Neville Longbottom became the most powerful sorcerer. Harry Potter visits him, sharing a laugh. The room is warm and inviting, with sunlight streaming through the windows and magical artifacts decorating the walls.